press centrifuge virgin coconut oil. The coconuts we get here are the traditional, we call it Katigan variety. At present, because what we can produce can be sold, we schedule harvesting of coconuts based on the capacity of our factory. So right now, we need about 25,000 kilos of coconuts in a day. So that is what we also harvest daily. For that size of jar, 425 grams, that would need about 6 coconuts, 6 1 kilo coconuts. Well, the best age of the coconut to be harvested is 12 months, meaning from the time that it has become a flower, 12 months after it becomes fully mature. That's the best time because in that kind of age of the coconut fruit, we get the highest oil content and the highest lauric acid content. If it's the first time that you harvest it, you can immediately detect which is ripe for harvest through the color. The fully mature coconut is brown in color, and that's the 12th month. The 11th month is a mixture of yellowish or a little greenish and brown. So that's what will tell you that this coconut is to be harvested. But if you are harvesting it already regularly, then it just become a matter of schedule. So like for example, if you harvest now, 2 months after you harvest again, plus additional 10 days to make sure that there is no immature coconut that is included in the harvest.
Nag-coordinate ko sa mga farmers, then nag-schedule sa ilang farm kano sa sila mag-harvest, then before sa ilang harvest schedule, nagabisita ko sa farm para sa inspection na abay mga chemical contamination, tapos nagbisita ko sa before harvest and after harvest. The process that we have do here to the factory, first is harvesting. We harvest the coconut. After the harvested the coconut tree, we pile the scattered coconut, and we put a plug in the pile of coconut so that the carrotonero or the hauling with the use of cart with carabao can easily see the pile of coconut. Then in piling also, we have already the record so that if how many nuts they gathered. And in hauling with cart, we also have record so that if how many nuts he collected. Then after gathering the carrotonero or hauling with carts, the hauling truck will go to the farm and pick the gathered coconut. Then the hauling personnel will count one by one and record the overall total of coconuts that carried by the hauling truck. And then if the hauling truck will arrive to the factory, they unload immediately and put a label so that to prevent mix up of other coconuts.
Those numbers are very important. Those numbers are the unique numbers for each farm. It provides traceability of the coconuts from the farm to the factory. So through those numbers, we know that this VCO, as processed in the factory, comes from which farm and when it was harvested. Traceability and quality checks are very important aspects in organic foods production system, because this provides the credibility of the organic foods. Customers buy the organic foods because these are good and it should be really good. So it is important to assure customers that these are really good. Traceability makes sure that the ingredients for those foods really come from farms that are doing organic practices and meeting organic standards, and that these farms, the output of these farms are not contaminated by other farms that are not verified to be really practicing organic practices or conforming to the organic standard. So the traceability ensures that what is really being sold as an organic product, like organic fresh centrifuged virgin coconut oil, really come from truly organic coconut farms. And along the way, there is no potential for contamination. And the quality checks are very important to confirm that indeed this way of producing the product really has produced a good quality product. The first step in VCO production, fresh centrifuged VCO production, is coconut preparation. So the factory checks the numbers on the coconuts and the dates that these coconuts were harvested. So based on these dates and number, it's being prepared, put into the bin, and the next step is to take out the shell of the coconut. After taking out the shell, the brown skin of the coconut is removed. After removing it, it's the meat. We now have the meat. The meat is being ground, and after grinding, it's the milk. The fresh milk is being expelled from the meat, and then from this fresh milk, we run it on a centrifuge, and from this centrifuge, the fresh oil is extracted. So, in essence, that is how we produce the fresh centrifuged coconut oil from the organic coconuts. Very important for us is maintaining the freshness of the product. So, because we have fresh coconut, real fresh coconut with 48 hours maximum standard, important that this freshness is maintained in the process so that when it comes out as oil and delivered to customer, it has that level of quality. So in the process, very important for us to clean the machine, clean thoroughly the machine, and all food contact surfaces.
What we do here is we check in our final checking about the quality of the oil. We do free fatty acid for checking of the freshness. We do also the peroxide value to check whether we have controlled the temperatures of our process parameters. And also we do moisture check to ensure that our oil can have a shelf life that usually it's 2 years, that it can still be used as a fresh product. Because processing coconut really requires hygiene, starting from the moment we open the nut. So from there, we have to control the quality of the nuts, and then all the people in that area are already wearing their GMPs, the hairnets, the mask, and then it's passed down to the next steps. They're all wearing the required PPEs also, the mask, hairnets, the gowns, and everything inside. All the requirements that we have all the employees to wear to protect our product of the possible contamination. So we do all those things that might contaminate our product. We have to control it. Well, the kind of coconut is the best coconut oil that we produce with that kind of process is it's a microbes free, because we have to ensure that no microbial contamination with our oil. So it is a 3 stages filtration, because if one fails, it has to be protected with other filters until it passes to the 3rd filters. So we have to make sure that the oil that comes out of our productions are really free from microbial contamination. So it's a very clean and pure coconut oil that we produce, and very natural. Yeah, we do disinfection with our jars. We do 100% inspection for all the jars that get into our disinfection area, the room. Everything has to be done to control the any contamination, even very small one, very minor one. And that is why we have our 2 checks of the possible contamination. First, in the jars. Before we will fill it in, we have to check for any possible contamination with the dust, the dirt, and then check it in an inspection before we sanitize it to kill all the germs. And then when we sanitize it, we fill it in with oil. And after we fill it in with oil, we check it again with another inspection light before we will have it labeled and packed ready. So it is a 100% inspection of all the jars that we produce.
What is most special about our fresh centrifuged virgin coconut oil is that I think I can say that it has the quality of the oil that is very close, if not the closest, very close to what exists in fresh, mature coconut fruit. So in other words, when you drink it, it's just like you eat the coconut meat, the fresh coconut meat with the oil in it. As I have described earlier, the way we are processing it, real fresh coconut, high freshness standard in our operation, produce that kind of oil. And you can see, you can determine it in its taste. It has a fresh taste. It has a fresh aroma, and when you drink it, it doesn't get caught on your throat. If you touch it like that, it has a very thin consistency. It is not thick, no? Meaning it's very less processed. And if you apply it on the skin, it is immediately absorbed. It is absorbed faster than other oils. So that's what I think is the most important thing about it. And well, of course, to the Japanese consumers, I would encourage them to just try it and see the difference.